I don't like to be rude, but because you were questioning me.
I mean, I spoke to my broker about it, Ashok. I don't want you to think I'm just making it up.
When you're telling me I have to pay for my own property's rent, you are making it up.
I'm just looking at to go by the book.
So I hired you not to tell me what the book says. I hired you to represent me.
For the water, did they include?
Are you talking about $100?
$150, yeah. Yeah, that's withdrawing from us. Right. What about from them? They owe us $150.
Yeah, but when did you text all that? This was already done before that. Yes, we have to collect it from the tenants ourselves, that's all.
Mike is calling me. Yeah, Mike. Yeah, we're doing the documents right now. I just want to make sure we're going to get the money for the water.
Yeah, I mean, you have to tell the tenant to pay it to you.
But if they don't pay, what are we gonna do?
So this is how we do it. We usually take it from the rent, that money, and if that prorated rent we gave you, it should be, the water should come out from that.
You have to show that it says that specifically in the lease.
It does say that. Check the lease.
And, I was looking at it, right? It says that utilities are paid.
By the tenant. So we have prorated rent, so we wanna take it from there. And we can give you copies of the bill of the water.
It just doesn't work that way. I wish it, for your sake, I wish it did, but because the new tenant cannot be penalized, or the new buyer cannot be penalized that the tenant didn't give you guys something you owe.
Okay, so the prorated rent, we still have to pay even if the tenant never paid us, for example?
Yes, because you have to go out. The buyer can't be held, can't be.
All right, I'm sorry, I'm just gonna interrupt. You don't know what the heck you're talking about. So we're just gonna call the title company.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
You know what I'm talking.
Thank you. You cannot pay rent if you didn't collect it.
He's like, we still have to pay prorated rent?
No, he doesn't know. So we're just gonna call the title company, that's it. And provide those two utility bills. Sometimes I'm ruthless, sometimes I just don't know how to freaking eat the bullshit. It's like, oh, you still have to pay prorated rate if you didn't collect the rent. Like, what the hell are you talking about? Now I pay rent? I collect rent. I don't pay rent.
Prorated rent. So if I'm buying a building, that tenant's just not paying rent, right?
You're gonna pay rent for them according to my...
Listen, I'm not a real estate agent, but I would love to know the rules on that.
Well, I just told you the rules. No, it's like, if you're talking out of it's like, you should pick and choose who you can talk to this way. Like, you think we were just born yesterday? You think it's, like, when people talk to me like that, it's like, did you think I got here by accident? And if you didn't, I don't need to talk to you.
Do you think that guy is gonna want to stop working for you?
Oh, of course not. Of course
The
not.
question is,
That's a real question.
do we want to start working with him?
Yeah, because he's on a commission. I don't despise the guy. He's cool. He's been doing this for so long. The last 45 days we've been working together. He learned more in that 45 days working with us than 8 years in his career. I guarantee you.
Ashok, I have the title company.
Okay, cool. Let's go. So, how you doing? This is Ashar. How's it going? Question that we have prorated rent there. We just received the utilities from previous month. For the water. We wanted to receive those utilities that are owed to us from the prorated rent of those 8 days. One of the things that we kind of hanged up on our agent is that they said that just go to the tenants separately after closing and demand that $150. First of all, after today, they're not our tenants anymore. And second of all, like, that's not a way to go about it. Like, we've been in the game for a little bit. Like, we should get everything in and out at the closing. Am I right?
Yeah, everything should be done, at closing.
Let's say it's July 8th and I never collected the rent. Do I have to, as a landlord, pay to the buyer prorated rent if I never collected it?
If you don't collect it and we don't know anything about it, we won't prorate it.
Exactly, right.
And we won't collect it.
So you're right, Vas. You know why he's not representing us? Because he's representing the buyers. That's it. So when you have dual agents, guys, just remember, they're going to represent the buyer, not the seller. So don't get dual agent to represent you.
Question. By real estate law, doesn't a real estate agent have to disclose that he's a dual agent?
That's true.
So that's something should have been disclosed. But it's okay. He'll go from representing two parties to representing zero parties.
I'm sorry, somebody's calling right now, I think.
Oh,
You take this.
let's go. What's up?
I just wanted to check in. What did the title company say about that?
They said that you're wrong. Do you understand how utilities work? I don't like to be rude, but because you were like questioning me and telling me that
I mean, I spoke to my broker about it, Ashok. I'm not, like, I spoke to my broker before I even had the conversation with you guys, so I don't want you to think I'm just making it up or my
but when you're telling me I have to pay for my own property's rent, you are making shit up.
I don't want you guys to think I'm not trying to make it out favorable for you.
Of course you're not, because you're a dual agent, because you're representing buyer and a seller.
Honestly, it has, I promise you, it has nothing.
When you're representing buyer and a seller, you cannot represent just seller's interest.
I'm not trying to represent just anyone's interest. I'm just looking at the, like, to go by the books, to do what's right.
When you hire a lawyer to represent you, do you want to represent what the book says, or do you want them to represent what your interest?
I understand you in that.
So I hired you not to tell me what the book says. I hired you to represent me. At $150, I mean, we're talking about for 10 minutes. You know, everyone made more money in that period of time while we're discussing. The whole point is, like, when you're representing both, and when one side will always feel like they're not being 100% represented. That's why there's dual agency. That's why you have to sign the paperwork saying, hey, I'm representing both. So that way everyone is clear.
All right, let me give you guys a call back.
All right. He just doesn't want to say. He's like, oh, I promise you I don't represent both. I made an example. You cannot not represent both. You sign with each one saying, I'm going to represent you.
How can he be on the side? So if he's on my side, that means he's not representing the other party. So that's also breaking the real estate law.
We just found out by accident that the agent who is representing us as a seller is apparently also representing a buyer. Or
Buy and sell, yes.
huh?
Is both. We had a feeling that the real estate agent was not fully representing us. We started reading the document. We realized that he is indeed a dual agent for the closing. We sold already 6 or 7 properties with him. Me building a trust, I just blindly signed, and it's 100% on me. But guess what? I don't feel comfortable doing any deals in the future with that person. The fact is that we have to check this kind of stuff
Of course.
that he didn't disclose. And he was shocked
He did disclose.
that he's a dual agent.
Yeah, by giving you this to sign. We just didn't look. You want people to do your homework for you? Freak me out when that happens. Read the documents.
So that's on you?
Of course. Of course, everything is on us. That's why we're the